Shortly before the Second World War, a baseball legend begins to unfold in the steel town of Donora, Pennsylvania. Stan Musial, 3 times National League Most Valuable Player, St. Louis Cardinals. National League All-Star Selection, 23 years. Member 3,000 Hit Club. 7 times National League Batting Champion. Lifetime batting average of .331. Today, Musial is Senior Vice President of the St. Louis Cardinals and a successful restaurateur. Former Green Bay great Paul Hornung talked with Musial at Hornung's Manhattan apartment and once again at the airport where Musial was awaiting his flight back to St. Louis as they explored the legend of the baseball player who was known to all as the Man.
Stan, when we did the show with Mickey Mantle, I asked Mickey who were some of the greatest natural hitters he's ever seen. And he said, well, there was 2 that I can really think of was, of course, Ted Williams and Stan the Man. Now, your peekaboo style, it was called, crouching back deep into the box, was that always a Stan Musial trait, that, even when you were young?
No, it wasn't, Paul. I always had a normal stance, but I always wanted to hit 300 in the major leagues. So when I joined the Cardinals, I kind of crouched down to cut down the strike zone. I was just punching that ball to left field. Although my stance was very unorthodox, I felt very, very comfortable. But the most important thing about a stance is when you come out of that stance, to have a good level swing.
And the follow-through, of course.
Right, right. So it's
almost like addressing a golf ball. The pros tell you just to get comfortable.
Right.
And do your thing. You actually created your own strike zone.
Yes, yes. When that ball was outside, I kind of strode into the ball and hit the ball to left field. If the pitch was inside, I tried to hit the ball at all times to right field, so I didn't try to pull too much. I was a spray hitter.
Of course, in 24 years, your average was over .330, one of the great hitters of all time. And Stan, we've got some film here that I think exemplifies just that. This is against the Dodgers.
The left-hander at the stretch. Here's his pitch. Musial takes him the other way and bounces the ball through on the left side. Might get the run home. He does.
The Dodgers, for many years, had great teams. We had battled one another and had great games and very challenging series, and they were tough. Dodgers had great teams.
Tight ball game tonight, the Cardinals and the Dodgers. The batter is Musial here in St. Louis, and Stan goes after the fastball and drives it deep and far up on the porch. A home run for Musial.
Every game was like a World Series.
Campanella, Reese, Snyder.
Great ball players. Robinson and, yes, great pitchers over there, too.
Who's that young guy?
I looked younger, did I?
Musial hits a long drive. It's going way, way back in deep left center, and it's gone.
Well, it was great games against the Dodgers. There was a lot of excitement, always a great series we had going with the Dodgers. Never a dull moment.
And actually, in Brooklyn is where you got the name Stan the Man.
Yes, every time we played there, I did such great hitting in Brooklyn that the fans always used to say, here comes that man, here comes that man. So pretty soon it was Stan the Man. There's one of the great hitters of all time, Ted Williams. He was a very scientific hitter. Studied hitters.
Did you ever compare notes, the 2 of you?
Very seldom, because we didn't meet that often except the World Series time. And
here's a good shot of the crouch.
Here's the pitch. Double pump on the windup. And the pitch. Musial hits a long, towering drive to deep right field, and there's no question about this one. It is gone. A home run into the lower deck.
When you hit a home run, you can generally tell by the feel of the bat how solid it hit, and you could tell how far the ball was going. So I knew that I didn't try to hit home runs, really, Paul. Through my career, I was just trying to meet the ball. And once in a while, you know, you
tell youngsters today that really hit the long ball, would you tell them still to try to meet the ball and never go for the home run?
I would say that if you just try to meet the ball and have the power, that you'll hit more home runs not trying to hit home runs. Because if you're trying to hit a home run, you're swinging too hard, you're taking your head off the ball and moving quite a bit. There's Enos Slaughter, one of the great Cardinal ball players, a great hustler. He loved to play, and Enos was a great Cardinal. He really was.
Enos bangs it through for a base hit. Whitey Karowski at the plate. Here's the pitch. The third baseman bangs it hard. It's a base hit, and Karowski's going to try to stretch it into a double. It's going to be close at second base. And he makes it.
We had a lot of speed in those days. We had a young, hustling club. This term more bunting the ball. We bunted more often in those days. And that's Red Shandy, sir, my roomie, and you know how important good roomies are.
That's
and,
right. Especially after so many years.
Red's our manager. You're right. He's a great guy. Red and I were there together about 10 years.
Musial hits a line shot to right center. Shandy will score easily.
Now, this is Willie Mays getting his 3,000th hit.
Yes.
Stan the Man was on hand.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss it. Willie's been a great ball player all these years, and he's had a great career, and I was happy to be able to be out there to see this Willie get his 3,000 hit, and it's a great feeling to get 3,000 hits. It takes a lot of years, and you got to be healthy and play and be fortunate not to get hurt. And Willie had a great career there and got 3,000 hits, and it's a great thrill to reach this goal. It was a nice occasion to...
and he's another natural hitter. I mean, Willie did everything effortlessly.
Willie could beat you, you know, with his bat, with his glove. One of the best all-around ball players I ever saw, really, with his bat, glove, and speed. So he was a good all-around ball player for many, many years. I was coming up to pinch hit here in Chicago. I wasn't due to play this game, and I needed one more hit for 3,000. Freddie Hutchison, our manager, was saving me for St. Louis the next day. But an occasion arose in the game where I was needed to pinch hit.
And the crowd realizing the drama of the moment. Musial going for number 3,000. Right-hander set. Here's the pitch to Musial. It's a fly ball down the left field line that's going to fall in for a base hit. Musial reaches number 3,000. He's going to make it a double. He goes to second, standing up, and the crowd roars.
You know, Stan, during your career, you came through for over 20 years when you made the big play. We're going to come back and talk about it in just a moment. It would seem to me, during your career, you came through when you made the big play.
Well, it would depend on the situation of the game and what you had to do, and sometimes you try to hit a home run, and a lot of times you just try to get a base hit. So, as you say, it's the conditions and situations changes, and you try to build yourself up to these situations.
Musial in that familiar crouch up at the plate, waiting for his pitch. He gets it. Oh, that one's out of here. Over the bunting, into the seats, and Stan the Man does it again. Home run, Stan Musial.
Of course, some of your greatest days were in all-star games.
Stan Musial loosening up with a little pepper game before the big ball game. So we come to a big moment of this ball game now. The batter, Musial. Here's the pitch. Stan gets all of it. He takes a look at it. He knows where this is going. Back and over the fence for a Musial home run. Musial got every bit of it. Stan the Man jotting around the bases, and he'll have a reception committee. A tremendous shot, and he knew it the moment he hit it. Walter Alston congratulates Musial, and the All-Star game is won by Stan the Man.
Oh, here's the man they've been waiting for. The most durable All-Star of them all, Stan Musial.
This is the All-Star game in Yankee Stadium. I was about 40 years old, and I got a great kick out of hitting this home run because it was in New York, and the All-Star game. I always enjoyed playing in New York. They're great fans and love baseball, and...
All right, Musial's all set up there in the batter's box. What an opportunity to be a hero. He may be. That one's got home run written all over it. Over the fence, into the seats. A home run right over Roger Maris's head there. Stan the Man delivers once again in all-star fashion, receiving the plaudits of the crowd. A great all-star, Stan Musial. Great spot for Musial. Go ahead, run on base. Pitcher sets, delivers. So does Musial. Pulls a pitch into right field. That'll score a run.
This is the old Polo Grounds.
Yes.
You loved to hit there, didn't you?
Yes, the fences were short, and I didn't try to hit a ball hard there. I tried to just pull the ball at all times down the right field line. It was 260 down the line, and all you had to do was get a ball in the air, and it'd go for a home run. So this is back in San Francisco again. Juan Marichal is pitching, and he was a great pitcher, had a screwball, and had great control.
Musial at bat, up here in a spot where he can deliver another clutch blow. He swings. He connects. Runner at third scores easily, and the Cardinals are ahead 1-0. Runner on base, Marichal delivers. Musial lashes out another. This is a drive, and this one may get out of here over the fence at Candlestick Park, and Stan is delivered.
This is a home run off Juan Marichal.
Yes, this is in San Francisco. I like San Francisco. It's a great city, and they played a lot of day ball there. And the wind blew to right field, so that's somewhat of a help.
A hero's welcome for Stan the Man as he stomps on home plate, scoring behind 2 runners.
You know, Stan, in baseball, of course, the brushback pitch, the beanball, has become very, very prominent. It's been a controversy for years. How many times did you know going up to bat that you were going to be brushed back?
Oh, every once in a while, yeah, Paul, they would brush your back and hit you on occasions, and of course the pitcher's trying to protect the hitter, particularly if you hit somebody on their side. So there's Willie Mays getting hit here. I'm sure that something went on there, whereas he might have been trying to pitch him inside and the ball got further in there, but every once in a while the pitchers get heated up in the heat of battle and hit a guy, and they in turn hit one of our guys, so it's part of the game. But as long as nobody gets seriously hurt, why, that's the main thing.
Now it's pitcher versus pitcher. Gibson at the plate. Marichal delivers. Down goes Gibson. And out goes the umpire. He is charging Marichal. Marichal's coming off the mound to face the umpire. Alvin Dark runs out. He's going to try to argue on behalf of his pitcher, but I'm afraid it's too late. Marichal is being thumbed out of this ball game.
This is our last game in St. Louis. Jim Maloney is pitching, and this is my final game. And the first time up, I struck out, and I was worried about getting a hit my last game or two, but I did come through with 2 hits.
Exactly the same way you started 24 years ago.
Yes, I felt like making the comeback after those 2 hits. This is our locker room coming upstairs, and for the last time, and I hated to give it up. You've given up something you love to do all these years, and baseball is a great game, and I enjoyed it.
And of course, for any baseball player, the greatest honor that you can achieve is your introduction into the Hall of Fame.
Yes, it was a great thrill, Paul, to reach baseball's Hall of Fame. It took many, many years of playing, and it's a dream and an ambition, and when you get in the Hall of Fame, it's really a great thrill. And all my friends and family were there, and I was quite honored by baseball, getting into baseball's Hall of Fame. After playing 24 years, I took a little time giving this speech because I had a lot of things to cover. So it was a hard and difficult speech to make.
This is not too difficult to take, though. And I don't think there's any other active baseball player who has a statue after him at Busch Stadium. It's a beautiful, beautiful honor.
The St. Louis fans and newspapers and the press and radio and everybody honored me there in St. Louis at this wonderful statue, and I'm very honored by this award here.
You know, Stan, I guess when anyone plays any professional sport for over 20 years, traveling becomes a second way of life, and we're going to come back and talk about your travels in just a moment.
All right.
Stan, all the traveling that you did over so many years, did you have any problems at home? Did the wife ever become a little bit perturbed that you're away from home so much?
Well, not really, because my wife always felt that baseball and traveling kind of went together as part of our life. And of course, while we're traveling there, the girls are raising the youngsters, and so they must be more or less a mother and father while we're on the road, and they must have a lot of dedication and understanding. I think we owe the girls a great deal of gratitude, really, for being both mother and father and raising our youngsters. And I had 4 youngsters, and I had 6 grandchildren. I have more time now to enjoy them, and we have a great family.
Stan, in all your travels, not only as an active baseball player in the United States, but as probably the greatest goodwill ambassador we've ever had abroad as far as baseball is concerned. You also went to Saigon in 1967. I understand that impressed you very much.
Yeah, no question about it. It was a very interesting experience visiting our troops over there, visiting the bases, talking to the youngsters, showing them movies, telling them how things were back here in the States, and that was quite an experience. And of course, what impressed me more than anything else about Saigon was that the spirit of our youngsters. They had They felt like they had a job to do. Their spirit was really great. I was really impressed with their spirit.
They loved meeting Stan Musial, too.
Well, they're great fans. They really were.
How about Japan? I understand, of course, they're great baseball fans. You went to Japan in 1958, then again in 68, with the St. Louis Cardinals and played the Japanese All-Stars over there. That also must have been quite a trip.
Yes, in 1958, I was still playing, so that they would entertain us before a ball game, and they were gracious hosts, and they'd take care of our wives, and before every game, they were showered with many, many gifts. And Japanese, they love baseball. They play quite a bit of it, you know, and they have great legs and great ball players, and so baseball in Japan was very interesting. Some of the fans were different than the fans we have here in the United States. You know, here in this country, in New York or Brooklyn or Chicago, Philadelphia, we have rabid fans. They yell and holler and get very emotional. Over in Japan, whenever I see a ball game, they're very quiet and they're very subdued, and they don't show their emotion. That kind of...
Very serious.
Yeah, they take it serious. So that was different.
And after you retired in 1963, a great honor was bestowed on Stan the Man. President Lyndon Baines Johnson appointed you as special consultant to head up the physical fitness program.
I always believed in physical fitness. Even when I was a youngster, my dad impressed upon me the value of physical fitness. And, of course, then when President Johnson nominated me to work with the fitness program of the country, working with the youth of the country, trying to improve their physical well-being, well, that was a great honor, and it was a great program. It's still a great program, going very well, and I think now the United States is conscious of fitness. Not only youth fitness, but middle-aged fitness, and I think the program has done a lot to upgrade the physical well-being of the country.
And I guess the original idea had to start with John F. Kennedy. He was very interested in sports and physical fitness.
Yes,
pretty good friend of yours.
Yeah, President Kennedy was a great sports fan. You know, he loved baseball, football. He was attended all the games, and I remember one occasion where we played an All-Star game here in Washington, and he invited me up to his box before the game, and introduced me to many of his friends and senators, and you know, lucky enough, during the game I was called to pinch hit, and I got a base hit. I was kind of thrilled. Then he invited me up to the White House the next day, and John was a great guy, and I was happy to be among one of his friends.
With President Kennedy looking on today, Stan Musial, the hitter. Stan digs in. Here's the pitch from the right-hander. Musial lines it into right field for a base hit. Solid shot for Stan Musial to open the inning. And the president enjoys it.
Dan, I guess the only things left is your goodbye to baseball, which was a great one.
The longest playing career of any major leaguer with one team comes to an end as Stan Musial makes his final appearance in a Cardinal uniform September 29th, 1963 at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. The 43-year-old Musial retires after spending a quarter of a century in the Cardinal organization and bows out with complete or partial ownership of more than 58 major league records. Even the kids are given special attention in the retirement ceremonies to pay tribute to their hero, Stan Musial, a guy who always found time to sign autographs and give helpful advice to youngsters or veterans. Ken Boyer, the star third baseman and captain of the Cardinals, presents Musial with a ring showing his uniform number 6 in diamonds, a number that will never be worn by another St. Louis player, according to August Busch, Jr., the club's president.
Baseball has been my life. I love baseball, I love St. Louis. This is a great organization, and I've had fun all these years, and it's been a great thrill. For me and my family, we want to thank all of my close associates here through the years for the many, many things you've done for me, and I just want to thank you very much.
Stan the Man Musial, once a Major League Baseball star of the highest order, and now a member of the game's Hall of Fame. When Musial retired after the 1963 season, he had set 55 Major League and All-Star records and had gained membership into the exclusive 3,000 hit club. Today, Musial serves as senior vice president of the St. Louis Cardinals and is a successful St. Louis restaurateur, where he lives with his wife, Lillian. They have a son, Dick, and 3 daughters, Jerry, Janet, and Jeannie. Long live the man, and long live his legend.